Well, good morning, everybody. We have the evaporator started here. We got it full of sap. Up top here in our pre-warmer, we have ice. So last week, we had a couple inches of ice sap, I guess it would be, in the buckets. We let that freeze a little bit, so there's a couple inches in there so that it held the buckets down for the big windstorm. So that is thawing in there. And the fire's going in here. It's only been going for about, I don't know, half an hour now. We're already getting some good steam off of it. It'll probably start boiling here within another half hour or so. It takes a good hour to get it going. But I am heading off to work. This is my papa here. He babysits the fire for us on the weekdays when we have to go do our 9-to-5 jobs. It's nice having retired guys around.
Easy with that.
But no, he's gonna make sure everything runs smoothly. We just take and fill our Home Depot buckets with our raw sap, and those get dumped right into the pre-warmer. So that's all we got to do kind of during the day is keep the fire hot and keep the pre-warmer full of sap. So I will see you guys in a few hours, and then we'll be making some syrup. Stay tuned. We are back from work. Second shift is here. Hank's being weird. First shift just left. We got about 80 to 100 gallons of sap boiled out today. And we got some nice dark liquid. You see those two white dots floating around over there? Those are my hard-boiled eggs, my snacks. But yeah, so it's going good today. We got about another 100 gallons of sap collected. It was an okay day. Not a huge run, but that's okay. It's supposed to shut off tomorrow, so we'll get it all boiled out hopefully by Sunday night. So we are gonna sit here and watch water boil. It's really exciting. We will update you when something exciting happens. Something exciting is finally about to happen. We started boiling this at 6 o'clock this morning. Well, yesterday morning? Yeah, it's yesterday morning now. Because it is midnight, and we still have not taken anything off, but we are about to. So I don't know if it'll show up on camera. I'll show you guys a draw. So this is what happens when it starts getting closer to syrup. See this little glass piece here actually floats in the hot syrup. And there's markings on there that tell us exactly where it has to be for our finished product. So we're getting really close. And once we get there, which will probably be here in a few minutes, we'll start drawing off, pouring it right into this stock pot here, and that'll be finished product. Hopefully, since we've taken so long to get our first draw, we'll have a lot coming off, and we can just kind of steady stream it. And I don't know, it's kind of cool when you can do that. It just sucks when you have to wait so long for it to start. But I think the wind wasn't on our side today. For some reason it was backdrafting through our pipe. We were fighting with a lot of stuff. It's a learning curve today. But it's alright. We're getting there. Making syrup. I'll keep you updated. After 18 hours of boiling, we finally have a steady stream coming out of the finished product end. In the meantime, we had time to set up our pre-warmer coil. It seems to be working pretty good. It's keeping this pan up here about 125, 130 degrees, which is awesome for keeping the boil nice and hot and making sure everything stays consistent. So we're going to keep drawing off here, keep testing it as we're drawing it, but I think we're going to have a nice long continuous flow. We're just going to keep her going. My replacement has arrived. I'm going to go to bed. We got, I don't know, that's probably close to 2 gallons in there. And there's more coming. It's boiling really well. We got 1 draw off so far. It's just been, I find it frustrating sometimes because something will work for a little bit and then all of a sudden it's not working. You gotta change it, and then what was working before doesn't work again. And it's just a big pain in the butt. So I'm gonna go get some rest and we'll figure out some more stuff tomorrow morning. Dad's gonna babysit the fire for the rest of the night. Well, we just woke up. We got about 5 hours of sleep. Hank and I are gonna go check on Papa Roy. Go see what kind of progress we made last night. Oh, he's down. Yeah, about where I expect him to be on the sap level. So that's good. Good morning. I see we have a fresh pot. Everything's still going good. Let's make some syrup today. Alright, so we've been boiling now for, oh God, I don't know, 36 hours or something like that. It's like 1 o'clock Sunday morning. We started this fire at 6 a.m. Friday morning. Don't yell at me. I've been up too long to do any of that kind of math. But for some reason, our fire has been real finicky today. So we took our last draw off at like 3:30. It would be Saturday morning. And we got absolutely no draw off at all Saturday. So I finally took a draw off at, I don't know, it was probably 11 o'clock Saturday night. And it wasn't a whole lot. It was weird. We went through a lot of sap, we went through a lot of wood, but for some reason, we didn't make a lot of syrup. Like, there's a lot of color in the pan. I don't know, it was weird. We'll figure it out. Could have been we had a little bit of green wood, could have been the weather was different, it could have been a lot of things. But since we're going on, not a whole lot of sleep and a lot of just long days, at the end of it, our hydrometer that I showed you last time for checking to make sure that it's syrup, well, it's now in 2 pieces. I was reaching across the table to grab something and it caught my sleeve and ended up on the floor. So we are now going to check it with the thermometer instead. I guess maple syrup is officially kind of maple syrup at like 219.2 degrees. So I'm checking it with the thermometer. We're still going to do the same method where we pull it out, put it in a stock pot, and then I have to run to the store tomorrow morning and grab a new hydrometer so that I can double check and make sure it's all accurate and right. So we're not going to be able to final finish it tonight, which is fine, but that was just after a long day and you're already tired and frustrated to do something like that. I was upset at myself, and But it happens. Stuff like that happens. So we refilled the fire ring over here. We got some more wood chopped. My dad should be here in about an hour or so. He's taking over the third shift at 2 a.m. again. That's what we did last night. So we're just kind of hanging out. I'm shooting some darts. Not very good at it either, but it keeps us busy. Playing some music and just hanging out. But our day has been very long so far and not a whole lot of results, which I guess happens sometimes. So hopefully, I don't know, we have about 50 gallons of sap left to boil out. So that should leave us about 5 hours, 6 hours of boiling, which at this rate would leave us like 8 hours of boiling because nothing is going how we want it to, which is fine. But that means we'll be finished up tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, and we'll be able to clean up and kind of relax the end of Sunday, which would be nice. So I will see you guys again when we're about ready to finish up our maple syrup batch here. Thanks for sticking around, guys. So all of our sap is finally in the pan. Our system up top here, our preheater system, is now cleaned out and drained. So we just, when we were all done, we kind of did a little swap. We dumped out the sap that was in there so it didn't burn in our preheater. And then we ran a couple buckets of water through it, got it all rinsed out. So that's gonna go down. As that goes down, or when that's finally done, we'll pull that pan off of there, let the whole level go down in the pan. Hopefully we get a draw off from that, and then whatever's left, we'll just flush out with water and try and save as much of the concentrated sap as we can and use that to start our next boil. But I have to run and go get a couple hydrometers because I broke them, and then we will come back and hopefully things will be ready to clean up and we can start bottling and finishing up what we have finished. What's up, people? We got our stock pot and our cooker. We're trying to get it up to 180 degrees again and then checking the density on the hydrometer. As you can see in our pot here, I have 3 different what are those, analog? Is that what you'd call that? Thermometers?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, because then I also have a digital that I'm checking it with. All 3 of those old school ones are giving me different readings, and there's one of them that matches my digital. So that's the one I'm going with. But either way, it looks like if you see that hydrometer bobbing in there, it's reading high sugar. So we're going to use the tailings from our last boil and thin that out a little bit. So hopefully we have the perfect consistency for our maple syrup, and then we're going to put it in some mason jars, and that'll be a wrap. We can get everything cleaned up, and that's another weekend in the books. All right, so this batch of maple syrup is ready to be filtered, and then we can put it in the mason jars. So you're going to watch the very not very good process that we're going to do for filtering this. We are missing one stock pot with a draw on it. We made one, and we should have made a second one, and we still might. So we have to pour this one into another one, and it's a pain in the butt. But we're going to do it, and it'll be fine. So let's see how it goes. Alright, I'm giving up for the night. I'm tired. It was a long weekend. I'm frustrated. So I was trying to filter out our syrup here. This is our vacuum filtering system that we tried to make to try and speed up our filtering process, but it's not working. So the premise of this is we have a stock pot here, and this lid, you see this elbow here is where a vacuum hose will go right there. We duct tape that on there, and then this is a gasket and a bunch of holes punched in it. And where'd it go? That old milk filter right there goes on top of that in the gasket. When you turn the vacuum on, it sucks it down to the gasket, and that works pretty good. And then we put filters inside of that old funnel, and I mean, it works pretty good at filtering out the syrup, but for some reason today, if you look in my bucket, everything's all frothy, like it's aerating the syrup a lot, and I don't know what's going on with it. This syrup is really dirty today. It's clogging up my filters a lot, so I'm not sure what's going on. I don't want to have to go back to gravity filtering because it takes forever, and you end up losing a lot of syrup too, just in changing filters, and it's just a big pain in the butt. But I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll go do some research tonight, and hopefully we can get it figured out and get back at it tomorrow. Okay guys, so last night I was like really tired, really frustrated with this thing. It wasn't working how I wanted it to, but after Dad helped me today, realized that there was a lot of niter in what we were trying to filter out yesterday. It was very dirty, if you will. And I think what happened was because that was one of the first draws that we took off after boiling all day and not having any draw. So the longer it sits in that pan, the more niter it is going to form, and the more you're going to have to filter out. I mean, this stuff is almost black. It's not ideal. It's going to taste really good. It's going to be like almost a caramelized molasses taste to it. It's just not the prettiest. Either way, I digress. So Dad helped me today, and we got a lot of it filtered out. And another thing I was frustrated with was that it was going up into the vacuum, which I didn't like, because I was like, I'm wasting product. But then I realized, even if I lose, say, a pint into the vacuum, because it wasn't a lot, that's $8 that I'm losing. But I'm gaining like 5 hours of my time. Like, filtering this by gravity takes forever. So, I'm okay with losing, you know, $8 or $10 to save me hours of sitting here trying to filter. So, that is the conclusion I've come to, is that I'm okay with it being the way that it is. Now, do I want to rebuild our filtration system? Absolutely. I want to make it better, because it can be better, because this is not great. It's not ideal. But we have the basics down. We have like you've seen Iron Man, like the one he built in the cave. Like, this is the one we built in the cave. And then the one that they finished the series in is not the same Iron Man. So like the pot that we're gonna build for next year is gonna be freaking cool. And it'll probably still have some imperfections. So the one we build in 5 years is gonna be like awesome. Or maybe by then you guys like have followed me a bunch and I have like a couple $100,000 and I'll just buy one. But even still, this is not, you know, the end all be all of maple syrup filters. But you know what? It just bought me like 3 or 4 hours this week, which is okay, and I'm happy with it. Over the moon. But, either way, I'm gonna finish bottling this syrup here, and you guys should go about your day. I appreciate you guys watching. It's been a blast showing you guys what we do, and sometimes the struggles that we go through. But that's gonna wrap it up today. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment section. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and maybe throw a like if you liked it. Either way, I appreciate all of you watching, and have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.